If you're looking to buy the RTX 5090, you're an idiot. I never understood the point in contributing into this sorrowful niche, this PC master race cult who spends more money on luxurious hardware than they actually need to. Even though PC gaming has been on a miserable state for years. PC gaming is a dead trend, filled with maggots squirming on its corpse. And quite frankly it was never good to begin with. But of course as every second passes, these dickless PC elitists do anything to their power to convince themselves that spending $2,000, yes you heard it right, $2,000, on a shoddy graphics card is a legitimate worthwhile investment. If that speaks for you, well let Jameson, also known as the king of gaming, the king of YouTube, the realest YouTuber on the platform, the 1000% fact spitter and the one that is superior than you on every single way. Let the king smack some sense out of you, and trust me you will thank me later for it. You see, as someone who got an early access to the 5090, I can tell you that I've played with it a couple of hours, watched some movies with it with my 4K 500Hz OLED monitor, only for me to open up my PC case, remove the card from my PCI slot, walked all the way to the beach on my trusted bench holding this thing on my hand, with the intention to do something with it that will benefit humanity itself, which you have to stick around until the end of the video to know what I'll do with it. This card is straight up booty cheeks. It had horribly lackluster performance. It eats up more electricity than Electro from Spider-Man with its 575 watts requirement. I mean, holy cow, prepare to pay almost double your electricity bills for a graphics card that didn't improve all that much from its predecessor, aka the RTX 4090. What's the catch with these graphics cards anyway? The so-called multi-frame general? Oh my god, it was bad enough that Wang Jinsung was waffling about his eye fetish at CES 2025. Now these PC schmucks praise it like it's the second coming of Christ. I don't know what's going on inside their peanut-sized brain to think to fork over $2,000 of loan-out cash, or hell some are willing to sell their kidneys for it, is a justifiable investment despite its prosaic features that only exist to boost its quote-unquote raster performance. Fake-generated boosted frames on Cyberpunk, which still feels like you're playing on 50 frames per second with its atrocious input delay, for a small price of $2,000 for a graphics card. It wasn't that long that the 3090 launched, and looking back, even that costed $1,500, but now you idiots are willing to pay $2,000 just to be on the top of the pyramid with the latest RTX graphics card. The PC cult never fails to blow my mind on how chronically brain dead they are. You have to be smoking crack if you're going to buy this graphics card. I hope someone is willing to smack some sense out of you, however I wouldn't be surprised that you possess some extra chromosomes. PC gaming is the most scandalous hobby of all time. Fact. Not an opinion. Console gaming, which is undoubtedly superior, because at least with consoles, you don't have to upgrade your specs every 3 years. Which only are first world problems, because I don't hear console players crying that 16 gigs of RAM is insufficient for a stunning gaming experience. Like what happened when having 8 gigs of RAM was good enough. Because after the last generation of consoles came to an end, all of a sudden 16 gigs of RAM was the new standard, and a few years later now it's 32, soon enough to be 64 gigs. And for what? It's not like anyone that will buy this card will use it for productive activities like programming and model rendering. The majority of these made-in-West PC master racists will only use it to push 3 extra frames on Cyberpunk on 8K resolution. And those are just the casual folks, the real hardcore ones, that have spent 7K on their pimped up PC that flashes more colors than the LGBT flag. Those motherfuckers will only use it to get the best experience on furry porn sites. I mean, it's a tale as old as time itself. Modern PC gaming has nothing to offer, just like the 5090 has fuck all to show for. PC has abandoned physical copies, so if you get banned from Steam, say goodbye to your precious digital games. Never mind the fact that the modern PC releases all half frame rate issues. Prime example are Red Dead Redemption and Elden Ring. And quite frankly, I rather spend my hard-earned cash to play online and get free games at the process with this box pass, rather than wasting money on overpriced graphics cards, 1 millisecond value monitors that have more ghosting that I considered calling the Ghostbusters, 64 gigs of RAM just to avoid bottlenecking, and finally shoddy Intel CPUs just to get demolished by a aimbot hacker on a Halo-free server that plays on 60 FPS. But you know, important human beings such as myself have class. We have standards unlike the so-called PC master race degenerates. Listen, $2,000 is a lot of cash. And in life there are smart financial investments. Like investing on NFTs or donating to my channel to support honest media that I deliver to the public. Even though the majority of you casuals don't deserve them. However, you can still share my videos on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, Tumblr, Blue Sky, MySpace, your favorite game forum, which will do a service to the future of society. Because if my highly articulated videos doesn't deserve that $2,000 in donations, then pigs have wings and they can fly all the way to the moon. And I can guarantee doing those two things are way smarter than giving your $2,000 on an overpriced GPU from a company that doesn't and will never give a flying fuck about your sorry ass. Listen, if you wanna experience real gaming, if you want a device with the best gaming has to offer, go buy the new iPhone 16 and experience the glory of mobile gaming. No need to spend $5K on an ugly PC build. Mobile gaming is the future of this medium. Anyone loves mobile games, especially real gamers like me who's been gaming since the late 60s. If you don't like mobile games, I cannot take you seriously. Because it's highly likely that you are a single-digit IQ moron with a superiority complex flexing that he hides the latest Nvidia or AMD cards like. That is such a worthwhile achievement to blabber about. So to all of you Nvidia fangirls, I'll have to remind y'all this again. If you're willing to buy this graphics card, you are a loser. So to conclude this masterpiece of a review, fuck the RTX 5090, fuck Nvidia, and fuck you PC elitists. I rate this card a 0 out of 10. And if you thought this piece of junk won't get its judgment, well, listen to this. And there it goes, sinking faster than Nvidia's market shares. But I warn you, if you have some working brain cells, do not buy the GeForce RTX 5090. Even AMD is better for Pete's sake.